All right, welcome to the Entrepreneur Insider Secrets podcast. Today we're going to be talking about building a magnetic online presence without being everywhere. Now, this is something that obviously is important for all content creators because, look, we need to have a place where our audience can find us. We need to have a place where we can be seen, where we can be found by people. And so we need to be out there. We can't be the best kept secret in our space. We need to be out there. We need to be seen. We need to be known. And the only way that happens is if we go out there and put ourselves out there on various platforms. And the problem that we run into so many times is that we're sitting there and we become very concerned with, hey, I got to now be on all these different platforms because some people are on Instagram, some people are on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, on and on and on. All these different new ones are out there all the time. And people start feeling like, oh, I got to be here. I got to be here. I got to be here. Oh, they're having success on that platform and they're having success over there. So I need to do that. I need to do that. And it becomes overwhelming. How do you put content on all those platforms? You can't do it. It's insane. So what we're going to talk about today is how do you come up with a realistic social media strategy, something that is going to put you out there, going to keep you in a place where you can have a lot of good content. People can find you, people can learn about you, but also in a place where, hey, the world isn't overwhelming. You're not sitting here trying to do 25 things at once. You're not sitting here trying to do all of these different things all at the same time. So we're going to talk about just a few core strategies. And first of all, the first thing I'm going to recommend to you is to pick your core platform with intention. And what do I mean by that? Here's the thing to start out with. When you're first starting out, do not try and be on all the platforms at once. It is too much for anyone to try to achieve. It is too hard. It is too difficult. It is absolutely just not recommended. You don't want to go there. You don't want to be dealing with all this. What you want to do is you want to sit there and you want to say, hey, this is a good platform for me. Okay. This is a good platform for my audience. This is where people are. Now you got to think about that. Facebook is generally a platform that has a very wide, broad audience base. If they have billions of people that use the app, what does that tell you? Well, that tells you that when you have that big of an audience, that broad of an audience, you got some of everything. And so, which is why in so many ways, Facebook became as popular as it did, because almost everybody could go on Facebook and find a niche of their people because there's so many people there. But then you have places like LinkedIn, which is much more about the corporate world, about career focused people who are building a career, people who want to work for a corporation or work for an organization, who are doing job searches, who are doing things with business to business, organization to organization. So if you are a person that provides services to organizations or businesses, that's a great place to be, because that's a lot of what this is. This is a lot more of a corporate platform. And then you have YouTube, which is all video. Obviously, you need to go on there and you need to be able to do video. You need to be able to put things out there in such a way that, people can watch videos. So you have training type videos, informational type videos, how-to videos. Those are really good for that platform. Other people do podcasts. Other people, where they do a regular podcast where people can download and listen to their content and have information coming to them regularly from that source. Other people will do Instagram, which is more of a, I think, of a millennial type audience base. I think there's a lot of, I would have to look for sure. I'm guessing more heavily female on that audience platform. Again, none of those things are wrong. None of those things are bad, but you got to know, like, where am I going? Am I going to a place where my clients are? If everything that you do is straight to consumer, LinkedIn probably doesn't make a lot of sense for you. If everything you're doing is straight to organizations, I don't know that, it's like Facebook and Instagram maybe make as much sense for you. You need to be on LinkedIn. or and so forth. But here's the thing. You need to figure out, where is my audience likely to be? Where am I going to engage with them? Where am I going to find them? Where are they going to find me? Because, you have to fish where in the pond where your fish are, and I know that sounds a little silly, but so much of marketing, when I was a child, I learned to fish. And that was one of the things I did. I grew up in the country on a farm, and I fished a lot when I was a kid. And you knew, like, oh, I want to fish for this type of fish today. Well, then you go to that pond. Or no, I want to catch some of these. Okay, you go to that pond. And you knew certain ponds had certain types of fish. You didn't even bother trying to fish for those things in the wrong pond because they weren't there. It wasn't even something that you had to worry about. So you just go and you just went and you did what you're going to do. So when you do all these things, you have to know, where are your audiences? Where are the people that you are trying to reach? Where are they already? And then focus your attention on those platforms. Don't worry about the other ones. Don't worry about being everywhere. Just worrying about where it's most impactful, and go deep, not wide. Spend all of your time there, because here's what I know. We all have certain people in our lives that we follow for various reasons. Like, I really enjoy following this person. I really enjoy hearing from that person. Now, if you had to today look on TikTok for them, if tomorrow you had to look for them on YouTube, if you had the next day you had to look for them on Facebook, it would get confusing, right? It's just like watching your favorite television show. When you have a television show, you know that it comes on at Thursdays at 8 o'clock on this channel. I know exactly where to go. I know where to look. I know where to find it. The same thing is true for your audience. If your audience is on this platform, then stay on that platform. Stay there and stay consistent on that platform, so your audience knows, hey, if I want to hear from one of my favorite people, this is where I need to go. This is where I need to focus my attention, where I need to be spending my time, because this is where my fish are. This is where the fish are that I'm trying to reach. So go deep on that platform. Just focus your attention there. Don't worry about going all the way across. And as well, play to your strengths. Some of you are great writers. Some of you hate writing. Some of you are good at video. Some of you are good at posting just short posts. Play to your strengths. Figure out where your audience is, and then figure out what your strengths are, and then match them. Because your audience is in multiple platforms. Your audience isn't just on one. They are in multiple places. So figure out, this is where my audience is. This is what I'm good at. I'm going to play to my strengths, and I'm going to go here. If I hate doing video, I feel horrible about doing video, I never want to ever be on video. Okay, then don't go be on video. Then don't do that. Write. If you're a writer, then put stuff out there in places where people can find your writing. And then from there, you want to create consistent, value-driven content. You don't want to, be like one person who puts out for 6 weeks, they put out really good content, and then they disappear for 6 months. No, you want to get a rhythm. You want to get a pattern, and do it in a way that's manageable for you. Don't try and, say, well, I'm going to go all in on this, and I'm going to do 3 posts a week. Okay. If you know that that's going to be really hard for you, just don't do that. Don't try and push yourself that hard. Don't push it to that extreme, because you're going to burn out and you're going to quit. If it's easier and more manageable for you to do 1 a week, then do that. Stick with 1 post a week. And if it's going really well and you're like, hey, I think I'm really enjoying this. This is going really well. I think I can handle 2 a week, then go to 2 a week. But too many times people get started and they get very excited and they're going to go. And as a result, they try and push it too hard. They try and push beyond their limits, and then they don't stick with it because they burn out. So do something that you're going to stick with on a real consistent basis. Focus on solving real problems that are going to speak directly to your client's desires and struggles. Don't be talking about 25 different things. Stay focused. Nothing bothers me more is if I get on especially like a lot of times on YouTube or things like that, where I get on and I'm listening to someone and they're just all over the board and they're talking about this, that, and the other thing. And now you're like, what in the world? I don't have time for this. I mean, that's fine that you have opinions on all these things, but buddy, I got other stuff to do. I don't have time. I just want to hear what you said the title of the video was. That's what you said the title of the video was. I want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about all these other things. And if I know that I'm going to have to listen to 45 minutes of nonsense to get to the little bit of good, I'm just not going to listen. So keep your content focused, keep it specific, keep it valuable to your audience so that they know this is stuff that, hey, this is going to help me. I need to dial into this because this right here is something that I need help with. And then use a repeatable framework. Do something that once you get the system and the process set up, you can just hit repeat over and over and over again. You don't need to do this again and again. You don't need to set up a whole new system every time. You have things all put in place. You create the piece of content and everything's set up, and it's just a matter of do it again, do it again, do it again. And you create new content in the same framework, the same system. Once you get a system set up, like me doing all these videos for the podcast, all these videos become very systematic, to be honest with you, because we have a process in place. We know exactly what we're doing, where we're going, how to do it. Boom, boom, boom. All the pieces get set up. We show up, do the video, and we're done. And it's all very, very straightforward and simple. It's not complicated. And so it produces and it gives you a simple way to keep producing content so people can come see you, come check you out without worrying about, oh, now I got to settle this. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? How am I going to create a blog? How am I going to create a video? How am I going to do that? Create the one that you're comfortable with and just keep doing it. Set up a system, a process so that it can go on repeat very simply and very easily. And then let your content do your heavy lifting. So you, over the time, people are going to start listening to you. They're going to start going, hey, this person really knows their stuff. They're really good at this. They really know what they're talking about. And as a result, I'm going to dial into them. I'm going to pay attention to them because they're really good at this. And I'm really learning by listening to them, by reading their stuff, by following them, because what they're putting out is very, very interesting and very, very useful. So you become the go-to expert. You become the person that people want to listen to, and you let your content be the thing. It's not all about the flash or the splash or all the things you got floating around you. You're just doing the things that you're good at, and you're talking about things that are helpful to people. And as a result, people are going to dial in. They're going to participate. They're going to want to follow. They're going to want to listen. And then once you do that, you're going to repurpose and amplify that content. And this is where moving into the age of AI, where things can get really interesting. Now, let's say you're doing what I'm doing. You're going to get online and you're going to do a short video, and you're going to do a video talking about all the different things that you're an expert in, and the things that are going to be helpful to your audience, things that are going to be useful, things that are going to be questions that they have. How do they do all these things? Well, there's things now that you can use to turn all of that content into all sorts of other things. So if you do a video, you can repurpose that content into all sorts of other things. And especially now with all the AI tools that are out there, you can do it easily. You don't even need to pay someone. You don't even need to spend hours doing this yourself. You don't even need to pay a lot of services for this, because this used to be a very, very expensive process. Now it's becoming very, very economical and cheap. So what you can do is you can go through and you can have AI create do a video, have AI do a transcript of it. For example, I'm doing a video right now, but this video is going to turn into a podcast. I have someone who will download the video, strip the audio, and upload it to the podcast. So it'll be multi-purposed. You can also use AI to create a transcript of everything that you're saying, and then go through and pull out quotes and clips, little things that were said that make good quote cards. And you can create quote cards, and you can use AI to do all these things. It can go through your content and then automatically post little short memes and different things of things that you've been saying, and linking back to things and reposting to things and doing things and putting out content. So you're only producing one piece of content, because this is part of the challenge as well, is that people say, well, what am I going to say? After a while, I run out of things to say. And that's a very real thing. After you've been talking so many times, so long, writing out so many things, after a while you go, I'm starting to run out of ideas. Well, Let me tell you, you can use AI for that as well. I go on ChatGPT all the time and I sit down and I say, okay, I need ideas. Give me 10 ideas for potential topics for a podcast. And it'll sit down and it'll start, boop, here's my topic, here's my audience, here's how long it needs to be. These are the things, types of topics that I'm focused on. Give me 10 potential topics for this. Great. Boom, gives me 10. I look through the list. Some of them I'll say, no, that's not really what I do. But a couple of them, a few I'll say, yeah. Okay. Now write a 3-point outline for me on that for a 30-minute podcast based on that topic. Boom, it writes it out. I can look at it. I have an entire outline written. I can tweak it a little bit. I don't have to follow everything that it says. I can tweak it a little bit. I can adjust it. I can make a few changes to it if I want. And I'm ready to go. And now I can show up. I can do the video. I can do the live. My person that helps me is going to then take it and turn it into a podcast. I can use AI to turn it into different things from there. I can turn it into quote cards, which can then turn it into Instagram posts, into Facebook posts, into posts on various platforms. All of these things can now be used, and you only had to produce content once. You only had to do a talk once, and yet from that content, you can create multiple things, and you can link back to things, and you can link back to your website, which can then have opt-ins for people to join your email list, or opportunities for them to make purchases, or things that they can do to, be able to engage with you further, to fill out applications, to potentially, hire you to be their coach, or to look at buying your course, or whatever it may be. But all of these things can come from one piece of content. You can use one piece of content. You don't need to go out and rewrite and recreate the world every time, because that can become a challenge. You can sit here and go, hey, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to say, because I'm running out of ideas. Let AI help you. Let something like ChatGPT go in and help you come up with content, with ideas, with things that you want to say, things that you want to do, topics you want to cover, and then let it help you post it out to the world. So that you have content, you have places to go, you have things to say, and it's all because it's helping you. It's writing the narrative for you, and you can insert your stories, you can insert your ideas, you can put your own knowledge and experiences into the content. You don't have to follow everything that the AI outline says. You take it and use it as a guideline, and then from there you can just go, and you don't have the stress of like, oh my gosh, I have to write all this content, I have to do all these things, I don't know what to say, I'm out of ideas, I need to do a Facebook Live and I don't even know what to say. Well, that becomes a challenge, and so you then get some help. And now all of a sudden it looks like you're everywhere. You're getting content posted for memes, you're getting content posted for blogs that AI is writing for you, you're getting content out on video that AI is writing the scripts for. And you're repurposing that content. You're taking little pieces of your blog post and creating memes. You're creating little pieces of your videos and turning them into posts. You're and linking back to your website and doing all these things and creating a social media strategy that's going to lead people back to join your email list, to inquire about your services, to fill out applications to work with you. All of these things become very, very critical and very, very important. They become things that you can use to create an entire social media strategy that you can look like you're in a lot of places when you're only in one. And you don't have to create lots of content. You can repurpose that content that you have. And again, not a lot of people are going to follow every single thing that you do. They're going to, how many people are going to be on this platform or that platform? Oh, I've seen this multiple times now. Well, that's going to be only the people that are the closest of the close followers of yours. Most people hop on, hop off, see this, see that. They're not following every little thing. So you being there, you increase your odds of getting one of those pieces actually in front of them. You increase your odds of actually putting content out that they're actually going to see. And it's going to look like you're this big shot content producer when really all you're doing is like one thing a week. And it's just getting repurposed, and you're retooling it for all of these different areas. AI is going to change how we produce content in a dramatic form, and it already is. There's all these things that we can do. There's so much potential. So I don't want you getting overwhelmed thinking like, oh, I don't have, now I got to create memes. I got to do this. It can all do it for you. It can do all of this for you. It can take one great piece of content and turn it into a multitude of resources. So use those tools, use those automations, use those resources that are out there to help you put content out. Use it to help you get your message out, and it will do things for you that you really didn't think were even possible. So then again, you're using this to drive back to your website, to build your email list, which you can then send out emails to. You can invite them to live trainings that you're doing, which will invite them to hire you, to invite them to work with you, to invite them to do things with you. You can do all these different things. They can, again, go to your website and you can have links to products you have for sale. All this stuff is now available, and it looks like, you have this mass empire and you're really just a very small one, but you're using the tools that are available to you to grow. So think about this. Don't get overwhelmed with your content production. Don't let this overwhelm you. Don't let this become a burden to you. Find your niche. Find the things that you can do. Find the things that you're good at. So you know where your audience is. You know the style that you're good at delivering content, and deliver your content like that. And then use that content to drive traffic, to build your email list, to get people to sign up for your products, your services, the different things. Continue to drive traffic back to your site so that you can then grow your business and use it without overwhelming you. You can use a few strategic pieces of content, multi-purpose them. Like I said, take a blog post, pull a quote out of it, and create a meme. Create a quote card, something that you can post on various platforms that all of a sudden is like, hey, oh, that's really interesting. I want, put a little quote on a card and with an image, boom, here you go. Now here, you want to link back, if you want to read the whole article, link back to my blog post. Or if you want to hear the whole thing, link back to my YouTube video. Whatever it is that you have, you can link it all back. You can put it all back on to your site, which then in turn drives people to connect with you further. All of these things can be done by using fewer pieces of content, but by redistributing them across multiple platforms. And use AI. The number of tools that are out there are immense. And I'm just telling you, it's only going to grow. It's only going to become more intense as we move forward. Now, just to recap, here's what I'm going to advise you to do, especially if you're just getting started in all of this space. Master one platform. Don't worry about when you're first getting started. Don't worry about, well, I should be here. I should be there. I should be here. Don't worry about that. Find the one platform that makes the most sense for you and your audience. This is where the fish are that I'm trying to catch. Okay, great. I'm going to go spend all my time over here. Then create consistent value, do things that are useful, help them solve their problems, help them get their stuff out there, help them get their message out there, and then repurpose that content on their other platforms so that you can then make it, so you don't have to keep creating new content all the time. I'd rather only have you do one thing a week and then yet turn that into a, multi-purpose expression using that one piece of content, as opposed to doing multiple new pieces of content a week, which is not necessary. Do one piece of content a week and then turn that content into multiple expressions. Turn it into multiple things. Take a blog post and turn it into a meme. Turn it into a quote card. Turn it into this. Turn it into that. Do all sorts of things where you can turn one content piece into multiple points of contact, and you can use the same thing again and again using AI to spread that message far and wide, to drive people to your site, to build your email list, to be able to do all these things to grow your business. Because all of this essentially is pointing back. We're doing all the social media to drive traffic ultimately back to us, to our website, so we can build an email list, so we can get people signed up for our programs, so we can help them, so we can make a difference in their lives, and so that we can earn an income. This is the strategy. Keep it simple. and then use one strategic lane for producing your content, and then multi-purpose the various pieces out of it. Break your bigger piece of content into lots of little pieces of content. And again, there are lots of AI tools to do that. If you'd like help with all that and learning how to do all those things, check out designlaunchgrow.com. Fill out an application. We'd love to talk to you and about helping you be able to work through this process. And we'll show you how to do all these things, because it's really too much to cover. There's too many tools to cover in a podcast episode, but we're happy to help you. And do that. And then consistently show up, consistently work through all these, consistently do the work, show up on the platforms, do the things you need to do, and you're going to be successful. Things are going to happen. Things are going to start going in a good direction, because you're going to have all of this content without having to do the work of all the content. So I hope this was helpful to you. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you again in the next episode.